historian Guest writes, and I'm quoting, "Tens of thousands of Irish were enslaved and shipped to the West Indies to labor and to die on sugar plantations. There have been recent studies, including Sean O'Callaghan's To Hell or Barbados, The Ethnic Cleansing of Ireland. Such works have caused near hysterical reaction in academia. Politically correct professors are livid that the topic is even discussed. There are some facts students just shouldn't know. Many of these kidnapped were children, some as young as 8. One agent bragged he kidnapped and sold an average of 500 children a year throughout the 1630s. Another agent said he also averaged hundreds of children annually and one year sold 850. The death toll for Africans shipped to the New World was high. So too was the death toll for the Irish. A loss of 20% during the voyage was continued normal, a percentage of deaths equal to that suffered by Africans in the infamous Middle Passage. My guest is a PhD historian. He taught history for 15 years at UCLA. Please welcome Professor Roger McGrath. Talk to me about what you call white slaves.
The first slavery for the British were mostly the sugar islands of the West Indies. And there, on most of those islands in the 1600s, the majority of the slaves were Irish, not black Africans.
Now, Roger, when you use the word slave, what one conjures up are people who are kidnapped or sold, and they belong to the master for the rest of their lives. Is that what we're talking about here?
The Africans that brought to the New World were already slaves in Africa. The Irish population, 500,000 were killed. And this is out of a population of about 1.6 million. And 300,000 were shipped to the West Indies as slaves. Some signed the contract of indenture. They couldn't read it. If people don't understand, the Irish didn't speak, write, or read English. They were Gaelic speakers. And so they were easily duped. Those that actually entered into a contract of indenture, they didn't know what they were signing. Those were a minority. The bulk of the Irish in the New World were simply kidnapped, rounded up in corrals, branded with the initials of the ship they were to board, and sent to the West Indies, and they are put on auction blocks and sold. And this would be down to children as young as 8 years old. And some of the things that went on were just mind-boggling.